Hey, what is up guys? A bunch of new cards just got announced, and also I want to go over kind of like the best cards in Premium Pack 19. Now, let's go ahead and first off go over a really cool card, Supreme King Servant Dragon Starving Venom. Like that name, really long, but let's go ahead and check out this card because I think it's pretty cool. So it's a new fusion level 8 Dark Dragon monster, 2800 attack, 2000 defense points, but it only requires 2 Dark Pendulum monsters, which is pretty easy because watch its summoning condition. So it must be either fusion summon or special summon by tributing the above monsters you control, in which case you don't use polymerization and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So its first effect is once per turn you get to target one monster on the field or in either player's graveyard. Until the end of this turn, this card's name becomes that monster's original name. Also replace this effect with that monster's original effect. Also, during this turn, the monster you control attacks defense position, you can do piercing. Piercing, let's be honest, ain't nobody really cared too much about that. But being able to copy an effect, copy an original name, that's pretty cool. And you don't even need poly. I know a lot of you guys were saying rip pendulums, but there is a lot of decent pendulum support, which we will get into with a bunch of the cards coming out in Premium Pack 19. But you guys can let me know what your thoughts are on this card, but we're going to jump into a bunch of the cards in Premium Pack 19. So this just came out in OCG. If you guys didn't know, most of these Premium Pack cards, we do get them in other forms. Usually it's like Gold Series, and they usually come out within a couple weeks. So what it could mean, guys, very soon we should be getting some Gold Series or something to have these cards, because a lot of these cards are actually pretty cool, and you guys will be able to play some of the things that I've mentioned and I've made decks on in the past. But anyways, yeah, I'm basically going to go over the cards that I thought were worth mentioning. Obviously, as far as like price-wise, I don't know what the price of these cards will be for the TCG. Now, in the OCG, they come as common and also secret rare in every card form, so it's kind of hard to price the cards. It depends on the printing, but in the TCG, I'll update you guys on that, like what are the best cards to pull out of it. But these are also kind of like the best cards, and the cards that I also wanted to mention. Some of these, they're more for fans than like competitive players, but I just wanted to give some of these cards a shout-out because I think they're pretty cool. So first off, Speedroid Domino Butterfly. So a lot of support coming out is coming for more support to the Synchros. So first off, we got the Domino Butterfly, so its stats are pretty much irrelevant. Pendulum scale of 8. Anyways, the pendulum effect is you can't pendulum summon monsters except for wind monsters. This effect can't be negated. You can discard a wind monster and target one of your banished wind monsters, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of it once per turn. The other effect, which is its monster effect, is it can't be used for Synchro material except for a wind dragon or machine type Synchro. And then if it's if this card was special from the extra deck and is used for a Synchro summon, you have to banish it. So I think it's a decent little card. It definitely helps out because it also is a tuner itself. So that's kind of nice. Also letting you bring back like any wind monster is pretty nice. And again, a scale of 8 is pretty good as well. Obviously has the downside that you're going to be making more likely Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. But that card's still good, guys. But next up, we got some support for the Frightfuls, the Fluffles. There's a new Frightfur card that I wanted to mention. There's also some other support in here, but I wanted to mention this guy because I think he's kind of cool. There's, of course, someone that's going to figure out some FTK with it. I guarantee it. But anyways, first off, let's go ahead and jump right into its effect. So the summoning condition is 1 Engine monster and 1 Fluffle monster. It has pretty good stats too. 3,000 defense, 2,200 defense. So when it destroys an opponent's monster in battle, you get to burn your opponent for 1,000. And if this card is destroyed by battle or this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each frightful monster in your graveyard. You can only use this effect of it once per turn. I feel like it's a card you're going to make late game more than likely if you're playing Fluffles and you've made like, you know, enough monsters to FTK your opponent. You probably would have OTK'd them anyways, but I know someone's going to figure out some crazy little OTK, FTK with this. Probably something with when you sending the cards with like the Monarch to the graveyard, and then you go ahead and you fuse into this and you burn your opponent for like, you know, a bunch of damage. I'm sure someone will figure something out with this, but if you're a Fluffle player, I'm pretty sure that putting in one of these in the extra deck will not be too bad, because if your opponent has really low life points and you're afraid of, you know, like a back row card or something, this could definitely be a decent little card for you to just go ahead and be like, oh, you've got, no one really plays Torrential Tribute anymore, but you know what I mean, anything that would destroy a card, you can have access to just being able to be like, oh, you destroy my card, I'm gonna burn you for like, you know, 2,000 damage, or whatever the amount may be. I'm sure someone will figure out some OTK with this card for sure. But next up, there's again more support coming out for a lot of different things, and this one was really cool. It's called Chain Summon. This is kind of, I guess Burning Abyss could make use of it, but obviously Zodiacs will make use of it as well. But anyways, if you control 2 or more Exceed monsters, target one XYZ monster you control with the lowest rank. Your choice. If tied, spell summon from your extra deck one Exceed monster with a lower rank than that monster on the field, but it can't attack your opponent directly. Also return it to the extra deck during the end phase. Now, a really cool card that a lot of decks, specifically Burning Abyss, made during the format where Cosmos were really popular, F-Zero Utopic Future. So if you're able to just bring out this with this, because I know sometimes like, oh, you can't, this card, you can't get it out. But nonetheless, this card, if you can bring it out with this effect, it would be awesome. But anyways, so its stats are pretty much irrelevant because we're only using it for its other effects. So anyways, it can't be destroyed by battle. Neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. So at the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can take control of that opponent's monster until the end of the battle phase. And if it would be destroyed by a card effect, you attach material, but more than likely you're not going to have material unless you're using some other card effect. But yeah, that's really cool that you can just spell summon from extract one monster with lower rank than that monster. And it doesn't seem like you need to use those monsters, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But if you can get F-Zero, I think this is a really good card, especially against Cosmos. Cosmos did not like this card, and I know that in the future, maybe if Cosmos get unhit on the ban list, they could be definitely more viable. But nonetheless, you rogue players, there you guys go. More support for the Thunder family. It's not a very strong archetype for the most part, but I know some of you rogue players will be happy to see this card finally get released. So when it's normal summon, you get to add a level 4 Thunder type monster from your deck to your hand, except for itself. Stats are pretty weak, but you're going to more than likely exceed with it. But nonetheless, it's a pretty decent little card for some of you rogue players. Next up, number 28, Titanic Moth comes out. I did feature this card in a really cool video. I'll link it down below. But anyways, we're really here for its second effect. It gets to attack directly if you have no monsters other than this card, and it does half the damage if you do it. But we're really here for this effect. So when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can attach a material from this card to burn your opponent for 500 for each card in their hand. And that's really good. There's a really crazy build with Extranet where you basically let your opponent draw a bunch of cards, which is technically a bad idea because they're more likely going to negate the effect if they draw a bunch of cards. But if you can pull it off, that's pretty cool. I'll link the vid down below. The guy just he made a Quasar and then he burns him with just this effect for 8,000 points of damage. But next up, there's Necroid Synchro. There's a little bit of support for the Red Dragon, Archfiend, King Calamity, a lot of Synchro support, so I wanted just to mention Necroid Synchro. So it lets you get a Stardust Synchro monster whose levels equal total of monsters that you're banishing. Its effects are negated, but more than likely, again, we're going to be using it for these higher level of Synchros. There's also Synchro Call coming out, so you get to target a monster in your graveyard, spell summon it, and then immediately after it summons itself, you get to Synchro Summon into a Dark Dragon type or Dark Fiend type monster using monsters including the material that you get with Synchro Call. So you can basically make something during your opponent's turn. I know it's not the most meta of decks, but I wanted to mention it because I think that some people, they just like to collect cards, and I know there's a lot of people that like the Stardust, the Stardust, I don't want to say archetype, or the Red Dragon Archfiend, like King Calamity, all those boss monsters. They do look cool. I mean, the artwork is awesome on them. But next up, we have Celestial Double Star Shaman, which is a really big deal. This card can actually be used in the meta. Anyways, I'm going to go over the effect real quick, because this card is a card that will probably be expensive. One of the better cards, probably confirmed for Secret Rare and TCG, or short print as we call it. But anyways, when this card is Synchro Summon, you can activate this effect. You can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for Synchro monsters. Also special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Their effects are negated. You can only use the effect once per turn, but it's really good. In fact, I made a video that you guys were really happy to see. It was a Cosmic BLAZAR, and you get to go plus 8 cards, no soul charge required. So the 2 cards that you guys will need, and it can technically be argued that it's 1 card, all you need for this combo. It's one of those crazy combo videos, but you just need Junk Synchron, and then you have to have either Foolish Boral or have Doppel Warrior in the graveyard. So either one, doesn't really matter. It could be a 1-card combo, but it's insanely strong. I'll link it down below, and if you Synchro fans, you'll want to watch that, because this card can definitely be used in a lot of different Synchro decks, and it has some potential to do some crazy things. I don't know if it's one of those ban-worthy cards where it's someone's going to figure out something broken with it, because getting up to 4 extra things, That's getting a little questionable there, Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, next up, Gozuki's coming out. For any of you zombie fans, this is a pretty cool card. So during your main phase, you just send a zombie-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then if it was sent, if this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish a zombie-type monster from the graveyard, and then, except for itself, just summon a zombie-type monster from your hand. He was really awesome in this zombie Zodiac build, which I'll also link down below if you guys want to get some of these cards ready to build some of these. Really cool version of like a Zodiac deck. I don't really see anyone really talking about Zodiac zombies, but it was a really cool deck. Next up, there's also some Vision Hero stuff. I know some of you guys are fans of the hero archetype, but you know, there is some more support. Is it going to make heroes like competitive? I don't think so. I don't think that this is the cards that we need, but definitely not too bad, and the heroes will always get some support. There's more hero support in this set, but I just wanted to mention that some of the V heroes will be in here, because I know some of you guys are also collectors. Also, I wanted to mention that there is some Dark Lord support. I don't know how much they are going to be supporting this archetype, but I wanted to give them a shout out because I know some of them have really cool artwork. Like Dark Lord Descent, that card looks awesome. It would make a great token. But nonetheless, you pay half your life points to special summon up to 2 Dark Lord monsters with the same level as one face-up monster opponent controls. And that's where the problem lies. If we said just pay half life points, special summon 2 Dark Lords, that would have been good. But it has to be the same level as something your opponent controls, and with the Exceeds not having level, it's a little bit difficult. Okay, I'll definitely say that. But also there's Oko back over here, so when it's normal special, you get to send 1 Dark Lord card from your deck to the graveyard, which actually helps out a ton, especially when you have access to potentially this. I think this card can be good because it's up to you. You don't have to. I think this card is really awesome. But nonetheless, yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to go over in Premium Pack 19. There's also some other cards. There's more Fluffles support. I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But I wanted to mention some of the cards and also give you guys a heads up on like what you guys can play with this, because we covered some of these cards in combo videos a while back. So guys, check out the videos if you're interested in any of the things I talked about. I'll link them all down below. But let me know, guys, if you're excited to play any of these things that are coming out. Are you excited to try out anything new? For me, you guys know that I already know someone's going to figure out some FTK with Frightful Daredevil. And that's what I think that'll make a pretty good vid. I just want to see how someone's going to pull it off. It's probably going to be the Monarch card. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And let me know what you're excited to hopefully get out of your packs. I'm assuming it's Gold Series. Again, it'll probably be out a couple weeks after. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.